Welcome back, season two, episode two, the Gents. Got the host Grant with us, and we got a new guest with us. Back for another season is Bone.
What's up, everybody?
Get right into it. We'll start off as always with Boggs Breakdown. It's presented by Roger Wood Sausage. Nobody brings the wood like Roger Wood.
Welcome back to Boggs Breakdown. Bone, I want to go ahead and get things started off by saying thank you on behalf of everybody in the league for not letting Cole get to 3-0. That would have been unbearable. We can deal with the champ being 3-0, but not Cole. Next, I want to give some advice to two of our league members. Hot Takes and Texas Poon Tappa. You guys might want to start saving up a little bit of money because beer and apps is definitely in one of the two of your futures. Gotta make something happen. Your teams stink. Lastly, a little message to the champ. Johnny Rodrigo and the Fighting Bogmen are coming to your house and are going to take your crown and going to give you your first L of the season. It's on. I'll see y'all next week.
He's calling his shot.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I'm relieved. He said he was going to go at me, and he laid off.
I mean, you never know what you're going to get with Bog, that's for sure.
I thought he was going to be posted up outside of Texas' house like he was mine.
Yeah.
He
Apparently
certainly didn't have as many negative things to say this week about your squad, Bone.
He bashed me last week, called me the worst team in the league, and thanked me at the beginning of this week. Me and Bog, we're back on good terms.
Well, that's good to hear out of you two. It's
Tells
great.
it like this.
What's that?
I say Bog tells it like it is.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And the hair, I mean.
Oh, yeah. No, am I the only one who notices the color scheme you put on here, Garrett? Was that to compliment Bog's shirts? He's just doing a hell of a job, and it made me think immediately of the NBA shirt that he wears.
It absolutely was not. So I really just put together this whole slideshow for the whole year, and I guess Bog might have coordinated it for himself, but I had no plans in that.
It's a nice touch.
Class act. Get into the weekly recap. This is brought to you by Athletic, what the pros wear. Start off with the Chesterfield matchup. Ayuk's agent took it to Porky. The Rams are red hot, but show me the money just couldn't get it done this week.
Yeah, I don't know. Campbell's team on paper doesn't look like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, but I mean, he got a great week out of JT, and when you're getting, points like that out of Zach Moss and he's got Jaden Daniels too. I mean, he's got two.
He's the icing on the cake Monday night.
Yeah, I mean, Porky's team on paper is honestly, I like his team on paper. They're just a little banged up, and Caleb Williams just hasn't put the fantasy points out there like everybody thought he might.
I agree, Bones. It's the second week in a row where I thought that was Bijan, but it's actually Brian Robinson, which does make the lineup look a little bit less scary, but solid running back, still a good-looking lineup on paper. Couldn't get it done this week.
Well, that's a lot less scary. That would be a huge difference if he had Bijan in that lineup. Get into Johnny Rodrigo's matchup. He's feeling confident after this win over Mr. Android. Mr. Android, he got a huge game out of Derrick Henry, but really Sam Darnold came to play. No one else brought it this week, though. He had another goose egg from Juwan.
Yeah, it's brutal.
He did make some moves, though. He made a trade, shook some things up. Nobody made any comments about the trade, though. Kind of concerned me a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. As far as BJ's team goes, I mean, it's one of the ugliest things I've ever seen personally. But he still somehow managed to beat me week one. I mean, outscored the whole league with 9 auto drafted running backs, but I think the true colors are coming out, and I liked the deal both ways. I think Gary got some value he needed. I think AR could be, a top 5 quarterback, maybe even better than that by the end of the year. So the trade made sense for both squads, and hopefully it helps BJ out a little bit.
I don't know. Richardson has not looked like a top 5 guy. I think that was an upside trade for me more than anything. I'm 2-1. I really shouldn't be 2-1, I don't think, but I just want to take a swing for the fences on that one. This was a really tight one. So Date Mike gave it all he had some really good performances from Joe Burrow Monday night, and had a good performance as well from Drake London in the Sunday night game, but just really couldn't get it done. That Barkley performance, 38 points, is just too much.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Date Mike put out a good effort, but it's not always enough.
Sure isn't.
I think he thought that Waddle was going to be a lot better than he's been, just because the quarterback struggles and all of that in Miami. That was, his receivers, Drake London and Waddle, they aren't. That's not the best duo I've ever seen. And his running backs are struggling a little bit. He's got Jameer, but I love Burrow. Kyler's a very solid second quarterback, but Date Mike's got some work to do.
Yeah, I agree. All the Dolphins really took a huge hit with Tua's injury. Anyone that drafted Tyreek or Achan, I mean, all these guys have been kind of disappointing. Bone, you had a huge win this week over Cole. Bob gave you a shout out in the breakdown.
Yeah, I was bashed all week about my team. And it's just a bunch of fighters in that locker room. They don't give up. AJ Brown being off this week, he got some one-on-one time with Deontay Johnson in practice, just showing him some things. And AJ's been a good leader for us, and Deontay had a great week. And looking forward to seeing AJ back out there. But we're a strong team. Got to get the boys in Kansas City, clicking a little bit better. But once that happens, we're going to be rolling.
Hell of a comeback for you from last week there, Ben.
Most people thought it wasn't possible, but I handed Cole a big fat L, and it felt good. He's already calling, trying to trade for my guys. He's been offering me Andy Dalton for Aaron Rodgers all week. He thinks it's even and fair, and it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. But glad I got to take him down.
That sounds like Cole. I mean, that really has this thing to have a performance like this. He got 33 from his horse, Josh Allen, 25 from a Charbonnet, 17 and 14 as well from Smith from his top 3 receivers. That's about as good as he could ask for. Really, the only person he would be disappointed with is Ridley. And I know Cole was going to bitch about the Falcons getting screwed with the pass interference call. And I'm just going to tell him that was a clean play. The Chiefs, they had nothing wrong at all they did on that play. But if they would have not defended Pitts as well as they did, he might have caught a touchdown, and that would have won the matchup for you. But unfortunately, neither thing happened. The Falcons stink, and your team stinks. Fincher just absolutely laid the wood this week to the Tappa. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. Performance like this from Dallas Goedert, 170 yards. I couldn't believe it.
Looks like the Tappa had a decent week too out of some of those guys. Got some big performances.
Yeah, I mean, if Shaheed catches a deep ball, he's right there in it. But I mean, he's got some stinkers in that lineup.
Yeah, his team is banged up though. Once Kenneth Walker gets back and Jordan Love gets back, I honestly don't hate his team, but I mean, he's starting the legend Colby Parkinson.
That's former leg hound Colby Parkinson. Is that right?
I think it was the guillotine.
Gotcha.
But yes, I'm high on Colby. He's a great kid. And he's consistent. He's a 5-point guy every week. It's just how he is.
That's exactly what you want in your lineup, is a consistent 5-point guy.
Fincher, I tried to warn everybody last week. Don't let him get hot.
Cat may be out of the bag there. This was 100% the surprise of the week. My team had a great week. I mean, I just had some unexpected performances. Amari's been terrible all year. He finally produced. And I know Grant's going to be, kicking himself for who he did start and who he did not. I'll let him talk a little more about that.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about this one. I like to move on, put this one in the rearview mirror. In my defense, I picked up Juwan Jennings. So first of all, great pickup by me. Had him in the starting lineup, which nobody would have known about if we didn't do a podcast about this league. Took him out just because I don't know why. I did a little Google search and it gave me 93% to start Kirk. So I feel like a real asshole. If it had been like 85, I'd probably keep him in there, but 93, I was like, fine, I'll start Kirk, who had a great week. 15 out of excellent. Predict a 50 bomb from Juwan Jennings.
I don't know that anyone could have predicted it.
It's another week. It's kind of similar to last year. I feel like my team's good, but I can't get it done.
Yeah, that hurts. I mean, I really was very, very relieved when he threw that first touchdown to Jennings. I was like excited when he threw it, but then as soon as I saw it was Jennings, I was crushed. And then I went to your lineup and he wasn't in, and then he just kept feeding him. I mean, it was tough.
And then it was still like I had a chance, and then Rice Baby ended all hopes for me on Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that also you got to be disappointed with Mark Andrews. I know anyone that drafted him has got to be feeling the same way.
That guy stinks. He stinks.
Yeah, no other way to say it.
It's been so bad for any Mark Andrews owner. I mean, they give Likely more targets. I feel like. I mean, Mark Andrews, I don't think he's caught a touchdown this year. And he hasn't. I guess it was probably his first double-digit point week, but I mean the guy's got to produce better.
He had 0, Bone. What are you looking at?
I was looking at. I don't even know what I was looking at. It's so far from me. I thought it said 11, but
I don't think he has find all year yet.
He barely has a catch.
I need to get my eyes checked. That's concerning.
A waste of a draft pick.
What does not stink is our next segment. So I gave y'all a little bit of heads up into this in the group message last week, but I'm kind of going to try to delegate some of the duties from last year. So we have someone else that is going to take over our big swinging sack and our small shriveled sack. We now have a new segment, and this is called Texas Time to Shine. This is brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Tex will open a can on your ass. This one's a little lengthy. He did cover the first 3 weeks of the season. He did say he's going to shorten it from here on out, but just fair warning, this one is a little bit longer.
Good afternoon, guys. Coming from you live from the champ here. Just wanted to give y'all a new segment with a new beautiful face. Not as good looking hair as John, but we're working on that. Want to start off with the small shrivel sack of the week 3 coming for you. Let's start it off with a little beat to it. So, if you didn't catch that, I'm a loser, baby, for week 3. Since we've missed 3 weeks, I'm going to go ahead and pick 3 losers for this week, for the small, shriveled sack. We're going to go with the big Mark Andrews. Put up 0 points in week 3. What a shame to be a Baltimore Raven. The next, we're going to go with James Conner. God, he looked so promising in week 1 and 2. And then week 3, what a shame. He's a loser, baby. And then, for my favorite of all time, Calvin Ridley. Put up a big whopping 1 point for the fraud. So now we move on to what we call the good times. That was for the good times here. We're going to start off in the champ's house here. We're going to go with, for the big swing and sack award this week, for week 3, I also have 3 guys in the lineup to make up for the last 2 weeks. So we're going to start in the champ's house here. We're going to go with Saquon Barkley. Man, the dude looks unstoppable. What a pickup from the champ. Then I have to give a big shout out to Dallas Goedert. Unlike Mark Andrews, he showed everybody what a real tight end looks like with a big whopping 29 points this week. And then I'm going to go with Chase. Chase has finally come out of the closet, and Joe Burrow finally figured out how to hit him with a big whopping 31 points this week. Those are our 3 big sack winners. Enjoyed it. Looking forward to week 4. Good luck to all y'all chumps.
And that was spectacular, Tex. Those moves, unmatched.
That's good stuff. Guy's got a voice for radio.
A lot of Mark Andrews hate, though.
Yeah, it's deserved.
Pure entertainment as always. I caught on to the wordplay a little bit. Chase finally came out of the closet and Burrow figured out how to hit him. I mean, I don't know what's going through this guy's head, but it was pure entertainment. Love the music. And there was a lot to pick from this week, so 3 guys might have been good. I can't believe there wasn't a Jawan shout out in there, but
He's
yeah,
on the bench.
Well, I mean, I feel like anybody deserves it if they put up that many. But it was a wonderful segment. Glad to have him on as a fellow weekly segment on the podcast. That's a great addition.
I mean, he absolutely brought it. That was really, really good. Appreciate it, Tex. Move into the week 4 preview. It's brought to you by the Nissan Frontier. Nothing runs like a tier. Our first match of the week, we got Show Me the Money versus Mr. Android. We got a 20-point spread here. I'm thinking Show Me the Money by at least double digits.
Hard to argue with that. This looks like a bit of a mismatch on paper.
Yeah, it's brutal lineup that BJ's put out. I mean, I can't believe I lost that guy. I might be the only guy that loses to him all year. But that I got Porky big in this one. Caleb Williams is breaking out this week as well. He's going to go for probably 30, maybe 40. You know, he's the legend's gonna be born this week.
I will say the flex spots could possibly be a big swing in Android's favor there. Ford's been
why doesn't he have those guys?
Kooks.
I feel like he should be starting Ramondre over Zamir White in the running back spot.
Maybe that's just to make it look better down there. Either way,
I don't know what that guy's angle is.
got a shot.
This is another just massive spread. I think this is because they're assuming Jordan Love is going to play. He has Malik Willis in the lineup if Love decides not to play. I think even no matter who plays, he's going to be at least a double-digit point underdog. I think Ayuk's agent, they're projected the most in the league this week, if I'm not mistaken. I think they take this one.
Yeah,
I like Travis in this one. Sleeper pick, but I like the Tappa. I think Jordan Love's going to come back and light it up. I think Amon Ra is due for a really, really big week, and Mike Evans is also due. I just don't think his team is that bad. I think he steals one from Campbell this week.
yeah, I agree. The Tappa, that doesn't look so bad to me. I know the Bogman was shitting on him a little bit, and he's definitely got some injuries, but I mean that's not a terrible lineup there.
No, I mean the injury bugs definitely hit him hard. I just look at it, and Minnesota's been so good on defense. That's a tough matchup for either of the Green Bay quarterbacks. I think when you're going and looking at Ayuk's agents team, Ayuk should have a huge day. I know it was Jawan last week, but you got to think Ayuk's going to get absolutely fed this week, assuming McCaffrey and Debo miss again like they're supposed to miss. And then he's getting projected 14 points in his flex from Zach Moss, and he's not moving guys around. He doesn't have a 7 in his running back spot like Alexander Madison or some of the guys BJ was putting in there. Daniels also is looking like a steal of a pick.
Yeah, he's looking really good. Campbell's got good running backs, no doubt. He's just, I mean, this team is very, it's not flashy by any means, but it's very consistent and just, I mean, he really doesn't have a bad spot on there.
Campbell's a sharp player. I'm glad that he is having a little more success this season. If it took me throwing his Srixon in the water, and again, I apologize. I'm man enough to admit that was my fault on that. I thought it was a joke, but that's what it takes to get his team rolling on the right track. Then I'm all for it.
It's my partner. I'll defend him. He hit that three, what about 280? Guys just got some strength to him. He didn't mean anything by it.
Our next matchup of the week, this is going to be a tight one. Meat market, you got all you want this week against Date Mike.
The Date Mike's record.
I believe Date Mike is 1-2. They might be 2-1. I know they lost last week to Tex on a heartbreaking loss.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how he's doing.
Yeah, Date Mike is 1-2.
Yeah, just based on a little bit of this season and all of last season, this feels like a battle of desperation here. A couple of guys who desperately need a W.
I agree.
It's not going to come as I think both of us have shown over the past couple of seasons.
I like Grant this week. I like him to steal one. I like that lineup. I think you're also due after the unfortunate luck with Jennings last week. I think the fantasy gods are going to be on your side, and I think you take one from Dave Mike here.
I don't know, man. Like I said, both of these teams just absolutely have to have this one. Date Mike's coming off a tough loss, and then you're really coming off 3 tough losses. I mean, I like the meat market here in a really, really tight one, but that one was the toughest one of the week to pick for sure. This one is also very tight. I think it's going to be a little bit bigger of a spread in real life than what ESPN is projecting. I really think that the champ is going to take Johnny Rodrigo down here. I know Johnny Rodrigo was confident in Boggs' breakdown. Maybe I'm reading into that too much, but I think Champ's got something for him this week.
Yeah, Jalen's due. Hurts is definitely due for a good week. Saquon's unbelievable. Just hasn't skipped a beat since he got to Philadelphia. Uh, Now, I like Texas' team. He's got a very solid team, but I mean, Bog has got just stars on there. I mean, he's got Adams and Diggs who, could each get easily 30 points in a week. But if their production's limited, I think Tex takes it.
That was kind of my thinking too. I think Hurts is due for just a huge game, and I think Trevor Lawrence stinks. The jury's out on that guy. He's no good, and I just think Champ's got better players across the board.
I like both teams, but I'll no longer be picking against the champ. So give me the champ this week.
He's learned his lesson. All right. Our next matchup is Bones matchup. We got the Leg Hound and Eat a Dick Polson. A little battle of the brother-in-laws.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. With how Tyreek has looked without Tua, I'm not sold on him. DK has played really good this year, actually, but only had 4 catches last week. You take that double touchdown away from him, and he's just 3 catches for 30 yards or something like that. And for me, it really all depends on if AJ Brown plays or not. You get him back in the lineup, and this is an extremely dangerous team.
Yeah, good luck to you, Bone. I wouldn't wish a matchup against Eda Dick Paulson on my worst enemy, so it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think you're going to take it this week, Bone. If I'm picking this one, I think that Mahomes and Kelsey. Mahomes is going to be good, but Kelsey's been slandered a little bit. He's due for a big game. The Chargers, it's indoor stadium, going to be a 4 o'clock game, a lot of eyes on it. I think Kelsey has a big week this week.
Yeah, I hope we can make it happen.
This one right here, I unfortunately think Cole's going to take it to me this week if Mixon doesn't play, which is not looking likely. He didn't practice today.
I'll back you on this one. I think Cole's team is getting a little overconfident. I think Marv is not going to produce this week like he has been, but he might totally prove me wrong. I think you steal one. CJ Stroud is also due for a massive week.
Yeah, he's been terrible so far.
He's due. He's an awesome quarterback. And I think Rashee Rice was a steal in the draft also. That guy's been unbelievable. Are you starting 2 Chiefs receivers this week?
I start them every week.
Well,
it's pancake breakfast. We do it every month.
That's a good investment. I think you take it, Gary. I think you take Cole down.
I like it. Again, I think if Mixon doesn't play, I don't have a chance, especially with Laporta being gimpy as well. But I appreciate the vote of confidence.
Yeah, I agree, Bone, that Rice is the steal of the draft now. It's every week there might be like a new guy that you realize might be the best value pick there, but he was going insanely late, and he's looking like a top 5 receiver easily. He's by far the number 1 option for Mahomes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely enjoyed having him. So we got Fincher's forecast presented by Trixie. If you want to run with the big dogs, you got to run Trixie. Unfortunately, we have no Fincher's forecast again this week. Fincher, we got to get it in. Get right into our college football locks of the week. It's presented by Kiehl's Lotion. Lather up. Grant, I'll let you break down your week from last week and then get into your picks from this week as well.
Yeah, I remember saying it as I gave them out. I did not love them, and that's why you shouldn't bet it if you don't love it. A couple of losers. Hindsight, if I was smart, I would have just bet Tennessee -7 like you did. That was clearly the play that we both wanted to take. I was just afraid to lay the number, and I felt like I had to parlay it with another team. Got absolutely smacked against BYU, which leads me into my first pick for this week. If you guys remember from last year, the system is where a unranked team is favored over a top 25 team. It does kind of feel like a sick joke that top 25 team is BYU, but I don't care. I will ride the system. It's really rare in college football, so I'm going to be hammering Baylor -3.5. Also, like Maryland +7, they're at Indiana. So Indiana, I don't know a ton about. I know they got a bunch of players and the coach from James Madison, so I know they're pretty good. But Maryland's a solid team, and that's a lot of points, and they can win that game. Also taking Georgia -2. I don't know. I feel that's obviously a toss-up game, but don't have a ton of faith in Milroe. And after seeing Georgia struggle to Kentucky a little bit, that makes me like them even more in this game. I feel like they'll show up big time. And also have Washington State +7.5. Really like this play. Going to probably take them on the money line. Also, they're at Boise State on the blue turf, so tough environment. They got a really good quarterback, really good offense. They're going to score, so I trust them to be able to cover that spread.
Yeah, like you said, Tennessee -7. That was easy money last week. I'm glad I took that one. Georgia Tech, they should have covered. I mean, that was absolutely brutal. Syracuse also. I mean, they gave up a BS Hail Mary type bomb down the sideline, and then they gave up game-winning field goal after that. It was two tough losses for me, but this week I'm also on Georgia. I'm not laying the number just because I'm a little like Grant. I was kind of unsure about this game. I think Bama is very good, but I could see it being a 1-point game. I could see somebody squeaking it out at the end, but I like the dogs in this one. To me, now that Saban is retired, Kirby Smart's clearly the best coach in the country. Just riding that. Oklahoma money line. This one is very, very strange to me. I have no idea why they are a 2-point favorite against Auburn. I know it's at Auburn. I know Auburn historically is good, and I know Auburn has a really tough home field, but that line seems ridiculous. This line, I'm about to say, feels even more ridiculous, though. I think Illinois potentially is a better team outright than Penn State. And again, I know that it's a very tough environment, but there's no way that Penn State is 19 points better on most days than Illinois. So I'm betting on that one this week.
I really like both of those, Oklahoma and Illinois. I know Oklahoma is starting a true freshman for the first time, so maybe that explains why that's a small line. It's hard to trust a team on the road, even if as Auburn's fucking terrible. You just never know. They might show up. Yeah, the Illinois one, that's kind of like Georgia Tech last week. We're like, what? That makes no sense. That feels so easy.
I mean, Penn State's a name brand, but that's a lot of points.
Yeah, but Illinois is good.
Yeah.
Penn State's good too, but shit. They didn't cover that against, what was it, Bowling Green they almost lost to?
Yeah, I don't know.
Western teams.
We'll get into the guest lock of the week. Go ahead and take it over, Bone.
All right. I got Stanford covering against the Tigers. I'm not too confident in them winning, but I think Clemson is finally dealing with, some real competition since Georgia. I don't think Stanford is that bad. And I think, it's possible that some people could be shocked. I think Cade is really bad. And I think Stanford will give them some problems. Then we work into me taking Bama money line. I've had enough of the Jalen Milroe slander. That guy can play ball. He's a great runner, and he's got a cannon of an arm. Possible Heisman season for Milroe this year. Love that guy. And then LSU and South Alabama under 65.5. if the refs give it to LSU, then they'll score as many points as they want. But I saw them play, wasn't overly impressed. I think South Alabama really gives them some trouble. And I think they keep it under 65.5. I don't see that being a high scoring game.
I mean, I like the Stanford pick. I do think that at some point Clemson's offense is going to come back down to earth. I don't think they're as good as they've showed the last couple of weeks. NC State and App State have got to be two of the worst defenses in the country. And I also would like to put it on the record, I'm not betting on Georgia because of Miller. I think Milroe's a good player. I think Bama's a good team. I'm only betting on the Kirby Smart being better than DeBoer or whoever he that lines up against. I think Kirby's just the best in the country. But the LSU and South Alabama under 65.5 might be the most out of left field play of the year.
It's a scary one too, because both of those teams absolutely light up the scoreboard.
I don't understand it.
Maybe it's a smart play though, because everybody's thinking like that.
You got to trust. I think it's going to be a low scoring. Maybe. I mean, I don't know if they get over 50 combined points. I saw LSU's offense, and it wasn't impressive. It was not impressive to me.
Okay. This is your own original pick. You didn't get this off of a website or anything?
Oh, no. I put these together in about 45 seconds walking out of the gym. Just saw this one, and I thought 65.5 was a little excessive for that game.
I don't know how that catches your eye in 45 seconds. More power to you. Well, we'll see how those shake out for us. We got 1 minute and 40 seconds left. We're going to finish off with You Got Boned, presented by the Sigurd Center.
Yeah, just want to thank the Sigurd Center for sponsoring me every week. Love seeing the blue sign in the sky in West Columbia. But, I mean, I have to give it to Cole this week. It's a shame I don't have a video blooper reel of him like normal, but I'm doing it live. After he's been trying to trade me, give me Andy Dalton for Aaron Rodgers and a small piece all week. I got to give it to him. He's telling me my team's terrible. Didn't show up to the tailgate. Guy's a fair weather Gamecock fan. So Cole, you got boned this week. I'll probably give it to you again down the line. But you definitely got boned pretty hard.
I agree. Weak effort on the tailgate.
It's brutal.
Y'all got any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
I can't believe it wasn't me this week, bud.
Listen, you're one of my favorites. I don't like to bone you.
That's it's very kind. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. Hope everybody's got a great week. And just watch out for us. We're coming. We're not to be slept on over here.
Best of luck. See y'all next week.
Peace out, gentlemen.
See ya.